So thank you for joining me. Today
Yes.
I am here with Miss Sue LaRocque of River Raisin Antiques. How's your day going so far?
I'm doing great. The name of the business is River Raisin Mercantile.
River Raisin Mercantile.
It used to be River Raisin Antiques, and I had several people shying away from my store because they would come in and they'd say, "Oh, I don't like antiques."
Really?
So it was keeping people away. So I had a few suggestions to change it so that it was more welcoming and to show that it's a variety of items, not just antiques.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing research, I saw that you were a teacher first.
Yes.
So when did you make that transition from, hey, I'm going to be switching from a teacher into an
Yeah.
entrepreneur or, a business owner?
Yeah, well, I come from a family of small business owners. Everyone in my family owns their own business. And I loved teaching. It was my life's passion, loved it, but knew that I was coming to a point in my life where I wanted to change. And when my grandmother passed away 7.5 years, no, it's been more like 10 years ago, going through her farmhouse, which she lived in her whole life. She was born in that house, never threw anything away. So when she passed and we were getting ready for the estate sale, my family and I were going through all of her things and they were telling stories. And so those stories it grew in me this love for old items and the stories that go with them. And so before I retired, I was in Jackson and Tecumseh. I had booths there. And so that kind of got me started and let me know, hey, this is something I enjoy. So when this opportunity came up, I took it right here in my hometown.
Every item in a store, is there a bit of a story that goes with each item?
I don't know all the stories because a lot of my products come from estate sales and I don't get to talk to the owners. But some of them have stories, yeah. And I'm very happy that I have not only antiques, but I have some wonderful new items. I work with 4 different wholesale companies, so I've got new items that would be more for gifts. And then I have lots of local art. So I give our local artists a place to display.
That is awesome.
And sell. Yeah.
So I'm curious, when someone comes in, what's the difference between an antique versus just an old item?
An antique is, the definition is anything over 100 years old. It's called vintage if it's over 50 years old. So, yeah. And just because it's an antique doesn't mean it's valuable.
We are doing this series on women business owners in the village of Manchester. How has the camaraderie built over the years since you've been a business owner here?
Yeah, well, when I opened my business in 2017, there were no other gift shops, antique stores, toy stores, nothing. So I was kind of a lone wolf, and I had several people question why I was doing this, and they expected failure. Well, they didn't know me very well. I'm doing everything in my power to be successful, and it's gone well. What was your question again?
Oh, no. My question was, how has the
camaraderie.
Yeah.
So yes, since I opened my store, we've had several other little retail and gift shops open. And it's been wonderful because before I had these other stores, I was doing everything pretty much myself. There was just a small group of us planning events. You got to have those events to be successful as a small business in a small town. And so now that we've got a group of people, I've got this amazing team, and we work on things together. We all have strengths that we bring to the table. We have a monthly merchants meeting with all the business owners that want to show up, and we talk about our businesses and we plan events.
Around the village of Manchester, what are some of your favorite things to do?
Oh gosh, the river. I kayak the river all the time. Love the River Raisin. You don't have to, the only paddling you do is to steer because it's the curviest river in the world. So that's a treasure. We've got new pickleball courts and disc golf at our local park. I walk and ride my bike everywhere. We are a golf cart community, so I have a golf cart, And I cruise around the community with my grandchildren, so that's a fun thing to do. All the events, chicken broil, the Christmas in the Village, the egg hunt. We've got a lot of wonderful activities here.
Speaking of, let's just talk about the building itself.
Yeah.
Built in 1867.
Correct.
And turned into a somewhat antique shop now.
Yeah.
So how did you manage, or did you want to make the interior match that historic feel?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that
Yeah.
process.
So when I rented the space in 2017 in the winter, this was an old pizza shop. So all the walls were covered with drywall. They had a drop ceiling, big ovens and stoves and refrigerators, so you couldn't even see the walls.
Yeah.
So it took a big demo. We took all the drywall down, took the ceiling out, and replaced flooring, and we brought it back to life the way it was with the 14-foot ceilings and the brick walls. Very important to me. And I mean, it's charming. The walls I just love the brick walls. Yeah.
So everything here was placed deliberately
Yeah.
or meticulously.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
is
To
remarkable.
grab people's attention, like when you walk in, this is like my rotating display, and this is a rotating, so whatever the holiday or season is, you'll see things up front here that reflect the different holidays that are coming up. And then the rest is more generic things, but I bring things in all the time, always adding new product.
And when it comes to like first-time visitors, when they come in, what's like the thing that they should know about your store, about your business, that you try to display out front, outright?
Right, so I always welcome them, of course, into my store, and then I tell them that we're a mix of the old and the new and local art, and to just have fun. And if you see something that jumps out at you, buy it now, because it may not be here the next time you come in.
Do you highlight like local artists or just
Yeah.
artists in general?
They're all local. Yes.
One thing I read from customers is that you go out of your way for those shopping at your store. How do you go about covering that extra mile to make sure that your customers are satisfied?
Well, I just try to have a variety of things. My goal is to, for everyone who walks in the door, they can find something either as a gift or for themselves. I like to hunt for the unusual. If I go to an estate sale and I find something that I've never seen before, it's going home with me.
Yeah.
Because people come in and they're looking for the unusual or rare items. Yeah, things that they can't find anywhere else. And so I try to do that.
Absolutely. And my last question, out of everything that you found, what has been one of your favorite finds? It doesn't have to be your favorite, but
Yeah.
what's one of your favorite finds?
Gosh, there's so many things that I'm drawn to. I'm drawn to the old furniture. I actually have a cupboard back there that just sold. I think it's going home with someone on Saturday. And it's a it's a really cool piece. It's foldable. It's like a wood cupboard with doors, and it's foldable. It comes apart. And the reason is because it came across the United States on a covered wagon.
Wow.
It's that old. It's from the 1800s, and it came here on a covered wagon. And so they were able to take it apart and fold it up. And so when it's all standing back there. It's really cool.
And that has been my last question. I am Antonio Cooper, the Sue LaRocque of River Raisin Mercantile. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.